World Underneath 16, Utopian Roamer. Chapter 1, Scientific Observation Log. Excavation Site, Northern Forest of Lincoln City. Recorder, Shaylin. Survey Date, 2034. Weather, clear. Excavation process and key findings. Major discovery. This record may serve as crucial reference material. If I ultimately fail to escape from here, I implore whoever finds this journal to deliver it to the Evil Special Task Force. Assistance Note. The date entry is illegible due to water damage. The notebook primarily contains cursive writing and shorthand symbols, suggesting Professor Shaylin recorded these notes in haste. After careful analysis, I've compiled the following summary of the journal's contents. Wanderer Report, 3 p.m., Northern Forest of Lincoln City, high risk level, animal type wanderer, cheetah-like. Observation Log. I am currently in a space beyond ordinary human comprehension, described as follows. 1. Ruins of what appears to be an unknown civilization's remains. 2. Tree branches growing wild through rock crevices. 3. An unidentified celestial body hovering in the near sky, seemingly within reach, like a massive moon. Notes. During combat, just as I was about to deliver the final blow to the Wanderer, it vanished into a crack that appeared out of nowhere. My forward momentum carried me through, and a mysterious gravity vortex pulled me into the massive fissure. After the intense vertigo subsided, a mysterious alternate dimension materialized before my eyes. For a moment, I thought I was hallucinating, or had crossed into the afterlife, or perhaps even jumped to some unknown timeline. Before I could process these thoughts, the Wanderer suddenly appeared behind me with a deafening roar. It doesn't matter what this place was, I had to eliminate it immediately. Fortunately, my evil remained functional in this alternate space. Using what was at hand, I grabbed stones from the ground and hurled them with all my might. Under the successive impacts, its body gradually transformed into particles, rapidly dissipating into the air. Assistance Note. Professor Shaylin's evil involves physical enhancement, allowing instantaneous amplification of her strength. She is one of the rare archaeologists in Lincoln's academic community capable of conducting solo missions. In the real world, Wanderers always escape through rifts just before defeat, reappearing seconds later as if immortal. But this time, it seemed to truly vanish. Did I finally eliminate it? Unfortunately, I had no time for further exploration of the alternate space. Almost immediately after the Wanderer's complete defeat, the rift pulled me back to the real world, right to the same forest where I'd lost consciousness. What exactly was all of this? Outstanding questions. 1. How does the alternate space manifest spontaneously? 2. Its relationship with the Wanderers. 3. Why does physical time there synchronize with real-world time? 4. What serves as the key for free access to this space? 5. Can the alternate space be utilized for permanent Wanderer elimination? Chapter 2. New Theory. Excavation Site, Polar Glacier No. 4. Recorder, Shaylin. Survey Date, Unknown-1-2034. Weather, overcast. Excavation process and key findings. Wanderer Report, 3 a.m., Ice Valley between polar mountain ranges, extreme risk level, humanoid-type Wanderer, non-sentient? As anticipated, the alternate space appeared again. Mission objectives. The primary mission is to explore the geographical environment of the alternate space. To this end, I've brought protofield monitors, hazardous life form detectors, and essential survival supplies to investigate human viability in this space. Based on previous experience, the alternate space will close after the Wanderer's complete dissipation, and the rift will return outsiders to the real world. This humanoid-type Wanderer appears in the mountain depths. The immediate priority is to avoid it and maximize exploration opportunities. Assistance Note. The handwriting in this entry is notably steady, suggesting Professor Shalin wrote this in relatively secure conditions. Breakthrough discovery. Everything in the alternate space exists as physical matter, not an illusion. I tested this by drinking from a mountain spring and sampling wild fruit from the trees. Remarkably, both proved consumable. The resulting sensation of satiation is undeniably real. Assistant's note. Water damage has destroyed parts of this page. Only portions of the notes remain legible. I've developed a new hypothesis. Field experience indicates that the physical dimensions of explored alternate spaces correlate with the different species and specifications of wanderers. This humanoid-type wanderer proves far more dangerous than the previous animal type, and its escape route led to an alternate space vastly larger than any I've studied before. I believe there exists a positive correlation between the size of planetary protofield spaces and the wanderer's power levels. To gather supporting data, I've used my equipment to record comprehensive measurements of the entire geographical environment. Notes. I carry this work journal everywhere, sometimes treating it more like a personal diary. Should any colleagues accidentally stumble upon my occasional ramblings, please exercise selective oversight. For instance, as I write this final entry, I'm sitting alone in a clearing of the ice valley below the mountain's main peak. The frigid mountain winds strike my face, bringing unprecedented clarity to my thoughts. I can't help but contemplate some mystifying questions. If wanderers can escape into protofields, could it be that their victims aren't truly dead, but have escaped to some place we've yet to discover? Perhaps one day I'll find them. Outstanding issues. Must initiate new research expedition immediately. I can't wait any longer. Assistant's note. The notes end here. According to existing documentation, Professor Shalin reached the following conclusion in her subsequent research report. Wanderers in reality escape to an alternate space when near defeat. Pursuers can follow through these rifts to eliminate them permanently. As the first discoverer, Professor Shalin termed this alternate space protofield. Chapter 3. Chaos and Rebirth. Excavation site, protofield number 1012. Recorder, Shalin. Survey date, unknown something 6-2030 something. Weather, cloudy. Assistant's note. The date entry shows signs of modification. Upon examination, it appears to be the date of the chronorift catastrophe. The handwriting is extremely erratic, suggesting Professor Shalin wrote this in a highly disoriented state, possibly causing temporal confusion. Excavation process and key findings. Wanderer report. 1 p.m. Desert region. Possible intelligentsia-type wanderer detected. Unconfirmed. Observation log. New protofield discovered with the following characteristics. 1. Habitable climate with abundant geological resources. 2. Infrastructure remarkably similar to real-world settlements. 3. Vast expanse extending beyond visible limits, suggesting massive spatial dimensions. 4. Signs of previous habitation, evidence of past occupancy. Assistant's note. Multiple black lines were drawn under the fourth observation point for emphasis. This suggests Professor Shalin was experiencing significant emotional turmoil at the time. Experimental plan. I've decided to conduct a new experiment within this protofield. Previously explored protofields would automatically close after a certain period following a wanderer's elimination, like some predetermined system protocol, with the rift forcibly returning any entrance to reality. But this time I've waited an entire day without being expelled. This place must be special. Even now, I maintain my belief that those who appeared to be killed by wanderers might still be alive, waiting eternally to be found in some protofield. Assistant's note. The experiment purpose section has been torn out cleanly, with even fold lines suggesting deliberate removal by Professor Shalin rather than external damage. Experiment log. Experiment duration, 1 month. Brought supplies, barely sustained basic needs. During this period, I actually took up residence in protofield number 1012. More specifically, I established a campsite using a portable tent and began living there. Using primitive resources available in the space, such as stones and fallen timber, I managed to create fires for cooking, maintaining basic living conditions. The research equipment was extremely heavy, but thanks to my evol, I could carry it for ongoing material analysis. The protofield's energy signature differs completely from Earth's, showing striking similarities to Wanderer energy patterns instead. Could Wanderer interference be affecting my readings? Is this why I can't find them? I can't determine who left these signs of habitation. The experiment continues, but I'm running out of medication. The hallucinations have begun. Assistant's note. The next 2 paragraphs are nearly indecipherable, with words intertwined like a mixture of drawings and code. Initial analysis suggests one line reads, "Science can resurrect the dead." However, this requires verification from handwriting experts. The writing becomes progressively clearer afterward, suggesting Professor Shaylin regained lucidity. I dreamed of Chadwick and Queenie again. They've refused to visit my dreams for so long. Perhaps they're still angry I couldn't get home earlier that day. They were just as they always were. Chadwick cooking in the kitchen, Queenie doing her math homework in the living room. She should be learning multiplication and division now. It was supposed to be my turn to pick Queenie up from school that day, but work needed overtime and I couldn't make it. That senseless catastrophe destroyed everyone's lives. Lincoln City's transportation system had completely collapsed. I rushed back as fast as I could, but they were gone. The neighbors told me they vanished along with the Wanderer. I searched for so long but never found them. But now, there's hope. Outstanding issues. This attempt has failed as well, but I won't give up. Assistant's note. The following page has been torn out, suggesting additional unfinished content. However, according to information provided by the Institute, Professor Shaylin was ultimately returned to reality by the rift. Chapter 4. Beyond Solution. Excavation Site, Lincoln City Streets. Recorder, Shaylin. Survey date, unknown-1-2036. Weather, clear. Excavation process and key findings. After the last research expedition, my condition deteriorated. For a long time, I lacked the strength to embark on new journeys. Years of intensive work had finally taken their toll, leaving me weaker than ever before. After discovering my regular medication use, the Institute suggested I take a leave of absence. I accepted everything. Gradually, even the medication stopped helping me sleep, and my lucid moments grew rare. I spent most days in a fog. The Institute has given up on me, and so has my intellect. I have nothing left, yet I still believe in what I believe. I'm just waiting for the right moment. Assistant's note. Professor Shaylin's tone shifts notably in the latter half of this entry. Perhaps she was hoping someone would discover this journal. I will faithfully document all of her explorations. When my consciousness grows hazy, I often treat this work journal as a diary, leaving behind scattered, incoherent sentences. Once, upon waking, I found I had filled an entire page with the same sentence. That night, I had apparently written the same question over and over. Has science abandoned me too? I thought this question would remain forever unanswered, yet the response came surprisingly soon. What I'm about to tell you might sound like drunken ramblings, but please believe me, I'm more lucid now than I've ever been. Last night, walking home alone, my strength failed me. Dizzy and disoriented, I had to rest on a street bench. My arm began to itch, and upon closer inspection, I found a wanderer the length of my index finger. It was as small as a beetle, utterly unthreatening. At first, I dismissed it, casually brushing it aside, but as it fled in panic, a rift hidden behind it materialized before my eyes. It was actually a wanderer. I could hardly believe what I was seeing. Just like my first time entering a protofield, I stared, transfixed, extending my index finger toward the fist-sized vortex of chaotic energy. This seed-sized wanderer opened a true doorway for me, and as I was pulled into the protofield, I found myself instantly transported to the infinite cosmos. All of existence dwelled within that tiny rift, like glimpsing an ocean within a single droplet of water. Before I could process it all, I felt a gentle touch on the back of my hand. When I turned around, there was Chadwick, unchanged, as if time had frozen around him. "Let's go. Queenie got out of school early today. She's waiting for us at home," I heard him say with a smile. "Outstanding issues. Now we can return to the universe together. I'm sorry I kept you waiting for so long." Assistant's note. Here, Professor Shaylin's work journal ends abruptly, with her personal effects found abandoned on a remote mountainside. Too many questions remain unanswered. For instance, if these events truly occurred, Professor Shaylin should now be residing in the mysterious protofield she described. So when did she write this entry? If this was merely a delusion brought on by her discontinued medication, then no one can explain how her backpack traveled overnight from the streets of Lincoln City to mountains hundreds of miles away, nor where she herself has gone. From that day forward, no one has ever seen her again. Appendix. From Professor Shaylin's assistant. Personal profile of Professor Shaylin. Shaylin, 1997 to 2036. Research Fellow at the Lincoln Archaeological Society, 2019 to 2034. She joined the Deepspace Academy in 2034, where she introduced the groundbreaking academic concept of protofields. That same year, she joined the Lincoln Academy of Sciences and continued her field research on protofields. Mysteriously disappeared in early 2036 without a trace. The Deep Space Academy has awarded Professor Shaylin its Lifetime Achievement Honor Award. We will never forget her contributions, and may she reunite with her family among the stars.